Next point it is civil disobedient movement, and that is in the February 1922 Mahatma Gandhi decided to withdraw non-cooperation movement. That just now we have seen that one, that is in Chauri Chaura, that is in Gorakhpur, and he felt that the movement was turning violent in many places, and satyagrahis noted to be properly trained before they could be ready for mass struggle. Why he stopped that one? Because many people they are moving to the violent instead of non-violence, and we want to train the satyagrahis. Satyagrahis should get the proper training. After that training only we can start for the massive struggle, like that Gandhiji understood. Within the Congress, some leaders were by now tried to mass struggle and wanted to participate in election to the provincial council that had been set up by the Government of India Act 1919. Means the 1922, that time some of the leaders they thought like that they want to participate in the provincial council election that is started by 1919 with which act? Government of India Act. That also used to ask us one word question, and they felt that it was important to oppose British policies within the council, argue for the reform, and also demonstrate that these councils were not truly democratic. Means why they people said like that they want to participate in the movement. We are going to see that one by one point. They are saying like that we can oppose the British policies within the council. If we are the members of the council, then in the within the council we can oppose the British rule. Then they can argue for the reform. They means some reform should be happened here in India. Like that they are thinking. If they are the members of the council, they can ask that, they can argue for that, they can express that one, like that they are thinking, and they want to say like that this demonstrate the council were not truly democratic. They want to say to the British people, this council what they are making, what the council is working here in India under the leadership of British people, that is not really democratic. And C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed a Swaraj party. They are starting the Swaraj party within the Congress to argue for the return to the council politics. Means the some of the leaders and the main two leaders, that is C.R. Das as well as Motilal Nehru, they are forming Swaraj party, and they are saying like that we should participate in the council election, council politics. But younger leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose are pressed for more radical mass agitation and for full independence. Instead of this C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, they are thinking like that radical mass agitation means with violence also we can work for the full independence. They want to get full independence, not working with the council politics. Instead of that we want to get full independence, like that who is thinking? Jawaharlal Nehru as well as Subhash Chandra Bose, they are thinking. Then in such situation of internal debate and dissension, two factors again shaped Indian politics towards the late of 1920s. The first one, the effect of the worldwide economic depression and agriculture. The first thing, in Congress itself there was two thoughts or two types of thinking. One, it is they want to work with the effect of the worldwide economic depression. Already because of the end of the First World War, the different countries they face the economical depression. Not only Britain, many countries they face, and when we are coming to 1930s, we can see the Great Depression of Britain. That is will come in coming lessons, but this time unfortunately we don't want to read that much, but we will discuss like that things, because in future when you are writing some entrance exams or general exams, it may be related to government exams. That time you may get like that questions. So important points we will discuss. And we can see that the first one, the effect of the worldwide economic depression, and agriculture price began to fall from 1926. In India, when we are thinking, it's basically we face that problem from 1926. From 1926 we start face the problem because of the agriculture price. It began to fall down. The cotton we was getting 5 rupees before per kg. Now we are getting 1 rupee or less than that. Like that problem we started to face here in India also. Then collapse after 1930s means the great depression of Britain that made the worldwide great depression or the economical depression or the all the markets it went down. Even the foreigners, they are not ready to purchase things. We produce many things for them. As the demand for agriculture goods fell and export declined, peasants found it difficult to sell their harvest and pay their revenue. Because the British people, they face a great depression there in Britain. That's why they was not ready to purchase things from India. They was not ready to purchase the grains, wheat, like that things what we produced here in India, that they are not ready to purchase. Then if they are the demand it is going down, and that's why export it won't happen. The British people, they won't take to European continent. So because of these two conditions, what happened? Peasants, the farmers, they felt like that difficult to sell their harvest, already cropping over, and they are kept keeping in the storage, and they want to sell it, but nobody is not ready to collect that crop what they produced. That's why they can't pay revenue. By 1930 the countryside was in turmoil, means every part of the country they started to face a mental tension, or means they each conflict in the society, because the nobody is not ready to give money, or there is no circulation of money in the country, like that situation. So all the people, they suffered a lot in that time. Then against this background of new Tory government in Britain constituted a statutory commission under Sir John Simon, set up in response to the nationalist movement. The commission was took into the functioning of the constitutional system in India and suggest changes. The problem was the commission did not have a single Indian member. They were all British. So we are going to move to the next one, Simon Commission. We are moving to the Simon Commission, and why it is because the British government itself, they become collapsed there in Britain. So they are what they are making a commission here in India, that is statutory commission. That is leader was Sir John Simon. And what was the why they made like that, the British government? Because the response of the nationalist movement, the people, we are asking for the complete freedom or independence. That's why they set up like. They set up a statutory commission, and the leader was Sir John Simon. And problem is what was the duty of the commission? To look into the functioning of the constitutional system in India, how India can work as a constitutional system, make the constitution of India, and help the India to work according to that, and suggest some of the changes. That was the duty of the Simon Commission. And problem was there was no single Indian member in that commission. All of them was British. So the British government appointed a commission to study about Indian constitutional system and suggest some of the changes. Then why Indians was not ready to accept Simon? Because there was no single Indian member in the commission. Then when the Simon Commission arrived in India in 1928, it was greeted with the slogan, "Go back Simon." We know already reason, because there was no even single Indian member in the commission. So the people, they welcome Simon with a slogan, that is "Go back Simon." Not even good morning or sir like that. They never called sir like that, and instead of they said like that, "Go back Simon." And all parties including Congress and the Muslim League participated in the demonstrations. Means all the parties that time, there was means just started the Socialist Party 1924, but not reached the functioning that much. So the major two parties was that is Congress and Muslim, both party. Other small parties was there, means in Orissa small parties were like that here, and the small parties was there. All the parties, and even the bigger party like the Congress and Muslim League, they also joined in this demonstration. In the effort to win them over, the Viceroy Lord Irwin announced in October 1929 a week after the Dominion status for India is an unspecified future, and the round table conference to discuss a future constitution. Means because they want to overcome this problem of this slogan or the Simon Commission problem which they faced here in India. For that purpose, Viceroy Lord Irwin, what he announced a dominant status, and that is time. He is not saying the time in within 2 months or within 1 year we will get like that. They are never said, but unspecified future. And what he is asking, he asking the leaders to participate in the round table for the future constitution, discussion about the future constitution of India. And the radicals within the Congress led by Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose became more assertive. Because of this announcement of the Lord Irwin, what happened? The people like Subhash Chandra Bose and Jawaharlal Nehru, they become more assertive. They don't want to get like that. The liberals and the moderates who was prospering their constitutional system within the framework of British dominion gradually lost their influence. The people, liberals and moderates, means the Congress itself, there was two groups. One is radicals and one was moderates, and those who are thinking about the liberal movement which is started there in America. Those who are believing that all these people, they lost their influence among the influence. In December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Lahore Congress formalized the demand for Purna Swaraj or full independence for India. In 1929 December, the Lahore Congress, Lahore means present it is in Pakistan, in that under the leadership of Nehru, what they taken the decision, they are demanding for the Purna Swaraj or full independence here in India. It was declared that 26th January 1930 would be the celebration as Independence Day, when people were to take a pledge for struggle for complete independence. Means in 1930 January 26th we should celebrate as Independence Day, and we should take a pledge to struggle for complete independence. Means the Simon Commission came in 1928, and 1929 Lord Irwin, he is the dominant status to India. Then under the leadership of Nehru, they are saying like that, and they have taken the decision in December 1929, means January 26th of 1930 it will be the Independence Day of India. But the celebration attracted by little attention, so Mahatma Gandhi had to find a way to relate this abstract idea of freedom to more concrete issue of everyday life. The celebration, the Independence Day celebration, they got very less attention from the people. So Gandhiji is thinking like that, how we can relate this idea, this independent idea to the people, or in with our daily life, like that. Gandhiji means the people, they want to feel like that in daily life, everyday life, we got freedom like that. They want to understand. For that, Gandhiji started to think different ideas or different ways that we will see in next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.